Hello, today's video is slightly different from my usual, but because we are in the month of July, I thought I should share some insights about the great Julius Caesar, after whom this month is named. Everybody has heard of him, everybody is aware of him, everybody knows him as a great conqueror, but do you know that he was a great administrator too, and he has left some legacies behind which impacts the world even today. Julius Caesar came from an aristocratic family, but he was not very rich. He was very poor, in fact, which is why he joined the army, but he rose up rapidly in the ranks of the army because he was a brilliant strategist. He rose up to become a general. He conquered the entire Western world, especially, most notably, Britain and France. And for those of you who are fans of Asterix comics, like I am, you will understand that much after Julius Caesar, there was this Frenchman who wrote this, who authored these comics just to cock a snook at Julius Caesar. You know that he made a lot of fun of Julius Caesar in those comics, but still, Julius Caesar was a great man. And besides his conquest, let's look at his administration. He has left two great legacies behind, which is impacting the world even today. Julius Caesar, firstly, was the first person to actually start helping poor people. He cared a lot for poor people. You know that he because of his popularity, he overthrew the rulership that was there at Rome, a very corrupt rulership which was there at Rome at that time. And he took over as a dictator, but not as a lone dictator. He formed a triumvirate. Three people ruling Rome, consisted of Pompey, consisted of Marcus and himself. Three of them were ruling Rome. And they administered all the Roman Empire, which included all the colonies. So he was the first one to start helping the poor people. He really cared for the poor people. So what did he do? Firstly, he wrote off 1/4 of the farmers' loans, which is done even today. Today's governments, as election promises, they write off these farmers' loans, but what happens is these governments go into the red. Julius Caesar not only managed to write off these loans, but he also managed to bring down the debt of the Roman Empire. Rome had taken a lot of loans because they were conquering left, right and center. He brought down the debt of the Roman Empire at the same time, which is why he is considered to be a pretty smart financial brain. Besides that, what he did was he gave housing loans. Imagine all this happened in probably 60 BC, okay, before the Christian era. He gave housing loans to people who wanted to settle in different colonies. And please don't mistake this as what China did. China gave a lot of housing loans to Chinese people to settle down in Tibet so that they can outnumber the Tibetans. That was not what he did. He not only gave them housing loans to settle wherever they wanted, but he also gave Roman citizenship to all the people, inhabitants of the Roman Empire. So he was very great in those things. I mean, he was very magnanimous. He was a very magnanimous leader. So besides this, there was another legacy that he created which lasts even today, which were the roads that he built. Roads have been there from the Bronze era, but he built roads which are very scientific. Roads which will not get washed away by snow and rain, because he wanted these roads for his armies to travel on and for his merchants to go from place to place to trade. He also brought in storm drains so that water will not stagnate, water would flow. So these are the greatness of Julius Caesar, who could actually think. He was a visionary. So these things even last today. One of the most important things that he created is left-hand driving, left side driving, which we do in India today, which we do in most of Asia and also in Britain. It was much later that Napoleon, because of his sheer audacity and because he wanted to get back at the British, that he brought in right side driving, which is followed by most of the world today. So all these things were the greatness of Julius Caesar, but all these things made him so popular in Rome that the Senate that he had created, the Senate that he had expanded into a very large Senate, in fact, they became very jealous of him and they conspired to kill him, and they did do that one day. Bye. Remember Julius Caesar in the month of July.